Hello, everybody. This is Bill McKibben. I wish that I was there with you in person, of course, because Santa Barbara is one of the great places in the world, and because y'all are doing great work. But it's good too that we're learning to do more and more of this by low carbon means. So um, let's just talk about where we are and what an important moment it is, and how important the climate mobilization is in trying to make all this happen. Um, you know that I wrote the first book about climate change 30 years ago, back when it was an abstract and theoretical threat. And Californians, more than most, know that it's no longer abstract or theoretical in any way, that it's now the new lived reality of people's daily lives. And just as important, that it's part of our psychological condition now. No Californian thinks quite the same about the seasons, knowing what the wildfire risks are and so on. So it's, well, look, it's been in many ways a wasted 30 years. We haven't done the things that scientists and others of us said we should be doing. And so now we're in a very difficult situation. We're in an emergency. And that's why the work that Margaret Klein Salomon and others at Climate Mobilization is doing so important. Um, um, that work, might be best summarized as we need to make a radical, quick transition to renewable energy, and we need to stop digging up dirty energy. We need to keep it in the ground. And the good news is that on both these fronts, we have real possibilities now in a way that we didn't even a few years ago. The engineers have done their job and brought the price of renewable energy down to a point where it's not only possible to imagine, but where new studies show it's by far the cheapest option going forward, cheaper to power North America that way than with business as usual fossil fuel consumption. That's terrific, and what it means is that it's possible to build a powerful political demand for that transition to happen. I think that there's someone there from the Sunrise Movement today. Look at the remarkable job that they are doing in pushing out this Green New Deal that the rest of us have fallen in behind. That's really exciting to see the energy unleashed here, and to see the fact that it struck a chord with people of all kinds. 60% of Republicans were in favor of some form of a Green New Deal in recent polling. So it's remarkable. That transition alone isn't enough. We also have to figure out how to keep fossil fuel in the ground. And that's why the plan to take on all the new oil wells planned for the county there is so important. It's not just that they threaten the groundwater. It's not just that you've got lots of kind of offshore issues and new pipeline plans and stuff always going on as long as you're doing that kind of work. It's also because when it doesn't spill, the carbon and all that oil spills into the atmosphere. It's the thing that drives the wildfires. It's why the ocean level keeps rising. If we can't keep it in the ground, then we cannot have the world that we are used to having. And so it's entirely appropriate that people talk about this in the right terms, as an emergency, as one that we need a mobilization for, a mobilization like the last time we had a New Deal, a mobilization like the time that we had to fight fascism in Europe. The stakes are extraordinarily high. And that's why it's so good that y'all are putting your minds to it, putting your hearts to it, and putting your shoulders to it, probably most importantly. We've got a ton of work to do, and you are the ones who have to do it, and thank you in advance for getting it done.